All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Red Ribbon Retrospect. Thank you for your patience. I have with me tonight Persia. Thank you for joining us.
Of
So,
course, of course. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
um, so, you know, everyone, this has been a busy past week. I mean, Persia's been busy herself with different things commentating. I watched some of the NCR Dragon Ball FighterZ this weekend, which is actually why we moved the podcast to today. So there's been a lot going on in the scene. So it's no dull week so far in the life of this game. So so I'll get started with letting Persia introduce herself to you guys, in case there are those that don't know her for her amazing commentating or her
Ah!
contagious smile as she's at a tournament. Yeah, go ahead and tell everyone about yourself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Persia, and I do like commentary and hosting for various games and events. I've been a little bit all over the place lately, which has been awesome. But I kind of started doing commentary and hosting about like 5 to 6 years ago. So it's been a bit of a journey. I've loved every minute of it, of course, because it's brought me here. And this year has been absolutely insane. But when it comes to gaming in general, I've been gaming for as long as I can remember, like most people, because like my parents and my brother, they all played games, so it was only by nature that I'd be playing too. But I really got into it competitively back in Halo 2. That was a really long time ago. I think like 2003 or 2004. So it's been a while. From Halo, I played from 2 all the way through to 3. Once like Reach started coming out, I wasn't really feeling it anymore. And then I switched over to fighting games. And then the rest was history from there. I mean, from there, and like making the switch, making a genre switch in general is always a little bit intimidating. But what I like more about fighting games was that you could compete just one on one and you didn't have to rely on a team, which was something that was really holding me back like in the shooter games. But what's been super awesome is that recently, since I've been commentating a bunch of different games, like not just Marvel anymore, but doing Dragon Ball, and actually got to do a few tournaments for Halo. So that was really cool. Halo had an FFA tournament series going on alongside their main series with the Halo World Championship. And so I got to do a few of the FFA tournaments over at the Mixer store and the Microsoft store and everything. So that's been exciting. I
I
mean,
didn't
aside
know
from
that
all
you
that,
did Halo. I didn't know that.
yeah, it's freaking awesome. Like, whenever I think Halo, I always think back to my childhood and like playing for hours. I'm talking like 28 hours straight.
Oh
We
my
would go to our
God.
friend's house and like clear his whole living room of all the furniture, bring in all the setups, and have a crazy LAN with everyone like overnight. Like, we would do crazy stuff, like just playing all day,
Oh my
all the
God.
time.
That makes me think of like back in the day too. I used to like with Halo 2, that was like what got me into like multiplayer gaming. And like
Yeah.
I remember like the days of LAN with that. Like just going over
Yeah.
friends' houses, bringing like that was like the Xbox, the first one. That was like those were the days. They
Exactly.
were
Those are the days. You
they
just
were
sit back and reminisce.
Oh
It's
yeah.
pretty cool.
We got to do that sometime at like a tournament, like have a
I'm
side
down.
Halo.
I'm so down for that. Enter like a 2v2 tournament or something. We got this, and I
I
believe.
love it. Okay, let's go into just like talking about like your experience and everything and what you've done. You know, obviously you've gotten into doing commentary for Dragon Ball FighterZ. Can you like explain to us like what you've been doing with FighterZ and like what exactly it is that because you do the thing like you were talking about with Microsoft. So,
Mhm.
maybe like elaborate a little bit more on, how you got to that and like well not how you got to that, but what made you want to take that and like start doing that and how have you liked it so far? What's your experience with that specifically been?
Well, it's been really fun actually because I'm a fan of versus games in general because obviously starting with Marvel because I started playing fighting games actually with Street Fighter. So obviously not a versus game, but then Marvel 3 came out, not too long after that, and I fell in love immediately. It was a faster pace. There was, a little bit more going on, a little bit more variety. You got to use more characters and like use them as a team. And like that was kind of cool to me. So I really started liking Versus Fighters from there. And, I've played other Versus Fighters like Skullgirls and stuff. So with Dragon Ball coming out, even though I wasn't really raised like as a diehard Dragon Ball fan, like mostly everyone
See,
else.
but this is
I
a
just
good point though, that this game is, it's not like you don't only like, it's for everyone. Like you don't have to
exactly.
be the Dragon Ball like fan growing up to love this game and appreciate it.
Exactly. It's really true because it looks great. Like even without watching the shows, like I know that it looks amazing. The way even down to the details like the reflect and the way like it blows up the background, just like the game is beautiful. You can't deny that. And then also just the team aspect and like being able to use all these different characters, the different types of mechanics that they've added in because that's another awesome thing about Versus Fighters is that they all kind of bring another wacky mechanic to it to make them their own, even though they all are versus games. So that's what I really like about it. It's different. And it's easier to get into, so I think it's also serves as a great introduction into versus games and fighting games, which is awesome. We want to bring more people into the scene. So I think they hit the jackpot in terms of picking Dragon Balls to get all these people really interested because it has such a loyal fan base. And then on top of that, making the game fun, and accessible. And then the deeper you go, there are more intricate things. So it's not like you're just playing it and it's so easy to get into and then now it's, boring. No, not quite because there are still so many cheap things in this game and we've
Oh
seen
yeah.
that alone just from the rivalries and the hype and like all these exhibitions that we've been seeing. And that's what's really cool about it too. That's another reason why I love it so much because it's already generating the same type of history that made me fall in love with the Marvel series because you look back at Marvel 2 and then, Marvel 3 and now Marvel Infinite and there's so much history within the community with all these players and these
Oh yeah.
rivalries that happened
You
over
see a lot of
time.
them popping up.
Mhm. And so many of them are popping up now, but it's a different generation, so that's what's also got me interested. I'm interested in seeing how it plays out in this new esports era. Because a good example is Sonic Fox and Goichi. They are, obviously two of the best players in the world. Before they ever played, I can't even remember when a
Oh yeah.
rivalry was that hype. Like when so many people are on the edge of their seats, like, I really need to see them play. Then they play, and it was crazy. Then we got a grand finals right after that, but now there's so much going on in esports and, event running that they ended up playing again a week
Oh yeah.
later. So, now it's getting like a little bit diluted. But that's where I'm interested in seeing how we as a community and how everyone as organizers kind of go a better route about it to still maintain that hype because that's what makes the FGC is the hype, the genuine hype. And if we do get too diluted like that, we're gonna run through rivalries so fast that we might not be able to generate more. But I don't think we have anything to worry about in that terms with Dragon Ball yet. But that Sonic Fox and Goichi like rivalry was like intense and crazy. And then I feel like it's already, dying out because of how much we've gotten to see them so far.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Like as somebody like who has been like primarily like in the NRS scene, like, it's like it's so long that I've seen somebody really challenge the Fox, and it's so cool seeing like him go up against like this god at fighters and, not necessarily come out winning, which he's used to. So
Right.
this was like, it's like a step back, but like maybe it's like maybe something like too. I think that maybe like he needed to like maybe push him even harder because he like labs these games like more than
Yeah.
anything. Like he's insane. He's just so good at this and what he does. And Goichi and him, like you were saying, it was just back and forth like too, like the second time, like the first
Mhm.
the first like first of 10 between them, that was what it was. But the second one was like really close. Like it still wasn't like obviously like in the end in Sonic's favor, but it was still, I think he adapted from the first, like
Right,
the first time that
definitely.
they played, and it was just it was absolutely spectacular, and I agree completely. Like it'll be cool to see like more of these like rivalries pop up, and like it's cool to see a lot of these, I think, like the Japanese players too that are doing really well, and compare like, and not even just compare, but like see like the work that the American players also are putting in, like um what like let's just go. The next part was actually going to be like talking about like our favorite players right now. That's another thing I think
Mhm.
this game is doing. It's like people have these like favorite players that they're like rooting for right now, and they're from like all over the place, like all different scenes,
Yeah.
like I think two of my favorite like people to watch right now, like one I'll just say like stream wise and stuff is like I pop in my buddy Rico Suave stream a lot just to see him play Nappa. I actually think he might have dropped Nappa, which is like kind of sad, but like I'm like looking forward to him playing in a tournament because I've been like checking out the stream and he's been like labbing the hell out of Nappa, and you don't see a lot of Nappa players. So like he's kind of
Right.
become one of my favorite like players like stream wise to watch. One of my favorite players like to watch like competition wise right now is Nakiel. I think
Mm.
I think Nakiel's like doing work, like got like the
Yeah.
probably hands down the best Goku, and his Kid Buu is awesome as well. So, are there any specific players that really enjoy watching play right now?
Right now, obviously Sonic Fox because I'm just like a huge fan of Sonic Fox,
Uh,
and that goes like I think a lot of it ties back to just he's just an awesome person too. Like when I first started playing Skullgirls, and I went to a local tournament,
oh, he
he
probably
actually
loved that.
yeah, he
He
like
loved
sat
it.
down with me and he taught me like combos, and it wasn't like he sat down and like taught me half-ass like, "Oh, try this," and then got up and walked away and then came back. No, he sat there next to me, watched me do the combo. Every time I dropped it, "Oh, this is what you did wrong, and if you do this, then it'll work." And then it would work. And then I was like getting all these crazy combos and I'm like, "Thank you." Like that is awesome that he's willing to sit down and do that. So, aside from that, he's just amazing. He plays so many different games. He always finds the broken stuff, and there's just this like he makes it feel very relatable to just like watching him and like enjoying his play. Aside like from Sonic Fox, obviously Sage. I feel like Sage is like right up the same
Oh
alley.
yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
they're my favorite like team BFF also. So I just love them both. They're just like they go game to game like together and they just tear it up.
But yeah, they're
So I
training
really like watching
partners.
them. Yeah.
Yeah. And shout outs to Sage also because he followed the channel while we were doing
Yay!
this. So yeah, shout outs to Sage. Um so yeah, I mean what it's Dogora
Mhm.
is the other player that I really like because I believe he also has a really sick Kid Buu. And I love seeing the Kid Buu. Like I wish I played Kid
I like
Buu.
it too.
It's just there's something about like the stomp stomp that I just like
Yeah.
love in the moveset. Like it's
His little foot just coming up from the ground.
yeah, it's just
Yeah,
it's
I love that.
great. I absolutely love it. It's amusing. Like a player that I like watch as far as like their gameplay wise when they're playing in tournament a lot is because I play Android 18 and Trunks, and I love
Mhm.
watching like what Chris G does with those two characters in his set. So it's like
Right.
he's another player that I guess like you're familiar with him from the Marvel scene. So are
Right.
there any other like Marvel players that like you think are gonna be popping up here with like Combo Breaker and the other tournaments like coming up soon that you feel are gonna like boop like like right up into the top eights?
That's a good question. I mean, obviously Christie, he's doing his thing. So, but I feel like just him as a fighting game player, he's always expected to be up at the top. So, he's definitely gonna be up there. Um, I mean, Apology Man, he's been doing his thing. He did travel. He came out to Bum's birthday, so I would not be surprised to see him up there in the top eights very, very soon if he hasn't already. I don't even know. Like, I'm trying to remember and think back. I feel like the game has not been out that long, but so much has happened already.
Yeah.
So it's really
Well,
cool.
we haven't had like I feel like the summer is when it like going into the summer is when we get into like the tournament season and we start
Right.
seeing all the crazy shit. Um,
Yeah, because we're about to run into so many top tier tournaments, like
oh
Combo
yeah.
Breaker and
CEO,
CEO, and then of course
Evo.
Evo's about to be crazy. So
Oh yeah.
it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I mean, some other Marvel players I gotta say, like off. the top of my head, like Super Noon. I know he's been doing his thing, and even with Infinite, and even back in Marvel 3, he's always been one to look out for. But I think people tend to underestimate him sometimes, and he might like let his own emotions hold him back sometimes. But I think he's getting comfortable, more comfortable with DBFC. So we'll see.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, and speaking of tournaments, are there any that you are confirmed for that you're allowed to speak about that you know you're going to be commentating at coming up?
Coming up, no, nothing confirmed yet.
Okay.
But I'd love to. So anybody watching, what's up?
Did you
Let's do
like submit
let's
your
work
reel
together.
at all for like some of the ones coming up?
I I am going to definitely submit my reel. I am actually working on a brand new reel right now, and it's
Ooh.
not done yet, but I have a couple weeks to finish it. I'm just traveling every single weekend
Oh my
this month.
gosh.
So I have to find time in between to finish it in time. I have all the clips I want. I just need to find time to actually edit the reel together because I do all the reels myself. So I just gotta get it done, but I have a new reel coming out, which I'm gonna do a little bit of a plug-in. It's coming soon and it's awesome. I really aimed to make this like one of my best reels because I've gotten a lot of awesome opportunities recently, and all the clips within my reel are 6 months or newer. So that's
Ooh,
exciting for me
okay.
because they're all awesome and they're all new clips. So I'm looking forward to it. That'll be out soon.
Everyone,
I'll
make sure
keep
you
you
follow
posted.
her if you don't already and look out for this amazing clip montage.
Yay!
Yay. Uh, what was I gonna say? Was uh, is there any um tournament that you spit like want to really commentate at this year, like for Dragon Ball specifically? Like I know like the general answer would probably be like all of them, right?
Yeah,
But like,
of
is there
course.
any that like really like sticks out like to the most to you that like have you like maybe not gotten to commentate at as much, or like this would be your first time or something, like I know you've been doing this for so long, so
Mhm.
you've probably gotten a little taste of everything with like the tournaments, so just if there's any.
Yeah, well, I mean, in terms of like new events that I haven't commentated at before, um, I mean, yeah, I have kind of done a lot over the past few years. So I've kind of at least been to almost everything. And some of the ones I really wanted to go to, like past already, like KIT and stuff like that. Um, because I always keep track of all the events I do because I put it up on my website. But like, I'm just over 60 now, so it's like I've done like a
Oh
lot of them,
wow.
which is exciting. But
How many evos have you done?
Evos, I think officially four
Oh wow.
or five, 4 or 5. I two,
You're and it's
I think
great
four,
too because you're always out there like repping for the ladies, because I remember looking
of
at the
course.
the chart last year of like commentators, and I think it was you and one other woman that were like the women on the commentator
Yeah, we
pan
actually had
like.
3. It was
Oh, okay, it
me,
was three.
Cujo Kate, and Vicky
Excuse me.
Kitty. So that
Oh,
was super exciting. Those are the most women we've had commentating, which is so cool. Like
it's
I
progress,
was
right?
I was the first one, and I didn't even realize I was the first one until they told me. They were like, "Oh, did you realize like you're the first official one?" And I was like, "That's crazy." But then in the back of my mind, I was like, we have so many other women who are capable and like willing to do it. Like I really hope we can see more of them. So, and then last year being able to see all 3 of us up there, I was like, yes, you see we are in there right now, and it's really exciting. And in terms of tournaments, actually, I think I would love to commentate Dragon Ball Evo this year because it's gonna have these massive numbers, and I want to see who is going to be this new breakout person into the FGC. Like, I guarantee you, we are going to see people we haven't seen before ever. And maybe they're just 100% a Dragon Ball fan and they just like go super hard on this game,
Oh
and
yeah.
like they just show up and take over. That's what I always kind of look forward to with Evo in general, because if anybody's gonna like go to a tournament as like their one tournament of the year or something, most of the time it's gonna be Evo. So I'm just like looking forward to that and just seeing one how many people are there, because that's just amazing in general. Every year it gets bigger and bigger. And then two, just seeing what else do we see. I mean, we're seeing the current, common picks, Adult Gohan, Cell,
Android
Android
16.
16. Yeah, exactly. So all these common picks, but there gotta be some people out there, in the shadows, putting in work with these crazy wonky teams. I just need you guys to show up and blow everyone's face off with this craziness. That's what I want to see.
I can't wait.
Because I kind of feel like right now the game is like everyone's doing the same thing they were doing with Infinite. Like they're finding the stuff that's super cheap and works right now, and then they're just like they're clinging onto it for dear life. But like every other game, people will venture out and they'll discover something even more cheap, and then it starts to shift and change. And I think we'll see that a lot at Evo this year.
Oh yeah, I cannot wait. I can't wait for the storylines. Like the storylines are
Yeah.
always the best part. So the next bit, and I feel like me and you can like kind of talk about this together pretty well, is like what it's like to kind of be a woman in the FGC. And like you kind of talked a little bit just now about like how you were told you were like the first one confirmed last year that was a woman for Evo. And has there ever been any obstacles that you've had to overcome that were something that meant a lot to you, like to get past, you know?
Hmm. I think the most difficult thing for me to get past in the FGC in general to move like forward really like in a good direction with this community is just my pride. Like in the beginning I came from like the shooter community where I was actually going out and like winning local tournaments and stuff like that. I had a taste of winning and what it was like to be better than everybody else. And then you jump into a genre like fighting games and you're like, oh wait, this humble pie is far too sweet for my blood, right? So I'm just like, okay, I had to get over my pride because that was holding me back, and that was a huge obstacle. And, I don't really even feel like that's tied to me being a female or not. That's just me
Yeah.
being a competitor and being really passionate about competing and stuff like that. So that was one thing I had to get over. The next thing I had to get over was just like once the pride left the game, then I had to kind of, I mean, I'm trying to think like the
Did
best
you
way to
ever,
word it
well, did you
because
ever
there's
get like twisted by like stream monsters? Like I feel like no matter who's up there, they have something to say and that sometimes those things are hurtful to us.
One thing I realized about that, because in the beginning, yeah, people online and in the chat are like, oh my God, who's this? Get off the mic. But then they kind of just got used to me. I didn't let them talking online stop me because I knew what I was talking about and I knew what I was talking about. So I was too deep into the game and into like my love of this game and being able to like commentate and like share what I know about the game with people watching. And even despite the trolls, there were so many more people who were like, "Oh, I'm actually learning a lot from what how you commentate and you're very descriptive and I didn't even have my TV like in the same room as me, but I had the audio, yet your play by play was so good that I didn't need to watch the match. Like stuff like that kept me going. And even if saw like five troll comments and like one good comment in like a whole day or whatever, that one good comment means a lot to me because it lets me know that I'm helping somebody out there. So that's enough for me. And then from there, it's just I think once people got used to me and they started, recognizing me, then they really stopped like, trolling me as much. So I think it's just a matter of the the trolls and the online community getting
Yeah.
used to you because once you stick around and I mean it is unfortunate, but once you stick around and prove to them like everything you're saying is not going to affect me or stop me from doing what I'm going to do. I'm just going to keep doing it and I'm actually going to do it better each and every time because I do keep those comments in mind just for my own sake to know, yeah, you might be saying this, but I know it's not true because look how I'm like doing. Like if you say I don't know what I'm talking about, I will step back and I'll be like, did I like do like say something wrong or do I need to improve on my knowledge in some way, shape, or form? And I'll check myself. And if I don't feel like I do, then I'm like, okay, I'm going in the right direction. If I feel like I could improve on something, well then I'll improve on it. But it's not gonna stop me. It's just gonna make me, want to do better and like want to do more. And that I think that's where separating your pride comes from it, right? Like, yeah, they're a troll and they're being an asshole about what they're saying to me, but I'm separating the offense I'm taking from what they're saying and I'm trying to pull any type of positivity out of it in a like positive, you know, construction type of way. You know what I mean? I
Well,
don't know these
oh,
people, so I don't have, you know, I can't like get mad at them. Like me being angry at what they're saying is does nothing for me because I'm never going to meet them. I'm never going to be able to like really voice my opinion. And just me as a person, if their comments are going to stick with me, then I might as well get something good out of it, which is, oh, you know, they said I don't know what I'm talking about. Then take a step back. I'm like, oh, they're wrong. Okay, move on with my day. Or, oh, I can improve on something. But I don't know. I think that's just comes with doing this for a really long time.
well, yeah, and I mean it works like, and when everything you do, other women look up to you. Like, I think
No.
I think the first time I got into the FGC, and like my like FGC anniversary is every January of the year,
Oh,
because I got
nice.
into it in January of 2016 because of MKX Pro League. And it was that year that I went to Combo Breaker for my first time,
Oh,
and I think
yes.
that was where I first saw you commentating. And I remember I was with Eric, and I was like, oh my God, she's such a badass. Like, I think it might have been after, but I was like, that's goals, you know.
Aw. And
And
now look at you
hey,
hosting your own podcast. What? That's crazy.
you know, it well, and it means a lot to have like women like you know, to influence other women that are new or coming in to see a positive light too, because you you also are a very nice person. So like, you're very like approachable at tournaments also, and like just in general. So it's nice to have somebody like that in the scene. And I think that's important to like everyone else to kind of, you know, give that, you know, realize that
Mhm.
if you do have like
Right.
the light on you, that like you people watch and they look up to you sometimes. So, you know,
Aw.
like
Yay.
you're doing good.
Yeah, I mean, I anybody watching, I would just want all of them to know that like this community welcomes you with open arms. Even though it may not seem like it if you read a Twitch chat. I mean, you can literally go to any Twitch chat and not feel welcome. So the community itself is really welcoming. I mean, even switching, like I switched total genres and I didn't feel bad about it at all. Like that's how great it is. Even down to the tournaments themselves. Every single major tournament, anyone can enter, anyone can play, anyone can be the next big star. Some of these other events, you know, they're closed. They're closed circuits and stuff like that. And they've purposely turn them into spectator sports. Whereas with fighting games, you can play, and not only can you can play with other people. You go to, you know,
Yeah.
the event, you can play with people you might not ever get to play against. You can even play against, you know, professionals, and that's hard to do in other communities. Get a casual game in with a professional player, that's hard to do, but that's not that far fetched in the FGC, which is why I think it's so amazing. Oh, and like something else too about like Twitch chat and stuff like that, which I know like we were talking about how people in the chat can be mean and everything, and it just comes with time. But, you know, times are changing pretty fast too, where so many new people are coming into the community. They don't even recognize our OGs anymore. And our OGs will get on the stream and, you know, these new people, they'll troll them too. So everyone catches it, man. Like with that's just what it is. We all catch it online
Oh yeah.
to these Twitch trolls. So I think that's why I don't feel as bad about it anymore either.
That's definitely true. I've seen a difference. I've seen people go into the sub mode now too. That's like a thing. Um so last bit that we'll like talk about before getting into little fun stuff, you know. I mean, this has been fun, but you know, the other fun stuff is like, what do you think that you're looking forward to most with this game this year?
This year, what am I looking forward to the most? Well, I mean, obviously, I'm looking forward to Evo. Like anything with huge numbers, you know, I just want to see what happens, you
Well, and
know.
the
So that's
creator, she's
hands
gonna be
down.
there, I think, competing. I think that was like an article that was posted. She like said
Oh,
she's coming to
yeah.
Evo to compete.
And I think that's amazing, to be honest. And, you know, I think she's going to kick some ass. You know, I think, you know, they need to watch out. They better not be, you know, sandbagging on her because watch, she's gonna body everybody.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
looking forward to that. I mean, anything else I'm super excited for this year for Dragon Ball? I'm excited to one, see how the rivalries evolve, and two, hopefully see some sort of circuit or league for the game. But
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know if anything like that is in the works, but those would probably be the two things I'm looking forward to the most.
If you're Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm like looking at the Twitch chat, which is like, funny because we were just talking about that. First of all, people are very positive. They're saying nice things about you. The audience loves you, Persia.
Yeah,
Um,
I love you guys too.
but so since everyone loves the energy going and loves the Persia, let's get into the Bulma Brief, everyone's favorite tweet segment where we talk about tweets this week on Twitter. So we got Bulma here, and we're gonna put up our first tweet, which we
Oh,
have.
snap.
We got Panda Global's Ray Ray tweeting a video of the Go Tanks glitch that popped up. Now I don't know if you had a chance to see this, but it was like I'm pretty sure that it forces them with the like the tech that they do, like when like not it's not a throw, but the Dragon Rush. When they tech
Mhm.
the Dragon Rush and they use the Gotenks assist, something causes them to basically have to keep blocking. So it's a pretty bad glitch where
Hmm.
Sonic was able to just keep like doing the pressure on him. Now, what do you think when things like this come about? Do you think that their response is going to be pretty quick about balancing and patching this? Because we haven't like really seen any big changes made yet, and we still have
Right.
like Android 16 being crazy as well as adult Gohan being pretty crazy. So
That's true. And I think I saw another tweet of them mentioning that there weren't they wasn't there going to be an update, but it's not a balance change, just like an update for something non-related, and they were telling people that, or maybe that was old. I'm trying to remember. I feel like I remembered seeing something along the lines of, "Oh, there's a patch coming out, but it's not a balanced patch. Like pretty much don't get your hopes up because it's just a regular thing." So I don't know. I'm not sure because I feel like I haven't heard anything about something coming around. Maybe they're just trying to wait, but if it's something game breaking, like a total like glitch. For example, Marvel Infinite, the HSD glitch and the unblockable, turnaround glitch, those got patched out pretty quickly, but there's only been one major balance change and there's still some broken stuff in the game right now, but they haven't rushed to make another change with Dragon Ball right now. Doesn't really seem like they've made a rush to change anything, but they did provide like the DLC, right?
yeah,
So I don't know. I think they're waiting it out instead of doing a change like every single time something happens. Maybe giving the game, a couple months so that they can do something more substantial.
I definitely
I don't
think that's
know.
smart. I think it's a
Yeah.
smart thing to do from like somebody who's done QA. Like it is smarter to wait because
Right.
typically like you want to collect the data and see how people are using the characters and see because the thing that people don't realize half the time from a tournament level is that if the one character that's top tier gets nerfed, then there's going to be another character that rises up and they could be
Right.
worse. Like they got to make sure like there's challenges for the stuff ahead. So let's
Yeah, and
move on.
honestly,
Oh,
the way the community is, they've been figuring something new out every single day with this game. So, yeah, it's definitely better for them to wait.
okay. Yeah, no, you're completely right. Shout out to Master Steve for the host. We're gonna get into tweet number two. We have it says Goichi was pretty unsettled at NCR with people directly yelling behind him to the point where he couldn't hear the game audio. I think it's common courtesy to not be screaming into the ears of players during the tournament. Be somewhat respectful with the hype. Now, before we get into talking about this, I'm going to um, play the video
Okay.
of this for everyone to see what the general feelings towards this are. All right. So we're gonna.
Está bien. No quita... ¡Lumen, ay, coño! ¡Bravo! ¡Bravo! ¡Ay, cuidado!
El Taco Bell.
¡Ya! ¡Ahora! ¡Ahora! ¡Ay! ¡Ey! ¡Ey! Está bien, esto lo quita. Esto lo quita. Oh, shit. Está haciendo bulto él. Yo te voy a dar a ti bulto ahora. Ya, entramos ahí, coño. Ay, cuidado, cuidado.
Okay, so it's a little obnoxious, like nobody can deny that, right? Like it's a little oh boy, hold on. We had some sound going from the YouTube still. But yeah, nobody can deny that it was a little unnecessary, right?
Right. Well,
But you
I
have
just think
an
it's pretty
interesting
funny.
perspective,
Yeah.
right? So let's get into
Right,
this.
right. My perspective is pretty funny. I feel like I lucked out that I retired from professional heckling a couple years ago because that's definitely what it turned into. Um, so yeah, back in the day, earlier Marvel 3 days, I had no filter. I was talking trash all the time just because it was fun, and that's just what, especially coming from Halo 2, where I was good, so it was okay for me to talk trash because I knew I could back it up, right? And then you go into fighting games, a whole different story. But when my friends would do money matches or something like that, I would get hype and talk trash. But here I have some rules though. I never, go past the line. I don't talk personal trash to anybody. It's always about the games only. But I would get loud and I would like talk trash and heckle and
How
stuff
close
like
were you to
that.
them though? Cuz like that
I'd
my
never be up in someone's face. I would never
okay.
be within touching distance. Like I was never within an arm's reach, but I can get pretty loud.
Yeah, cuz that was like
So,
my issue with the situation was just
right,
seeing how close he was to Goichi, and Goichi's a pretty respectable player. I mean, yes, also too to everyone, like I know this isn't like Dragon Ball base, like it was during a Street Fighter match, but obviously Goichi, we've seen him do work already with Dragon Ball Fighters, and I think it's important just in general for the FGC to kind of talk about it because I kind of agree with Persia. I think that there should be like people should be allowed to like get a little wild and like heckle and everything, but the I think the line that people need to draw is like the personal space part because
right.
nobody whoever you are typically likes somebody even if it's not like during a match like being in their personal space uninvited. So, I think it's about just that in that matter of respect.
Yeah, and culture differences too. For instance, when probably Orange Band, they definitely don't be doing that. No one's standing behind anybody
Yeah.
popping off at all. But I bet you over in DR when they're in their locals and they're even playing with each other, I bet you it's still like on 100 at all times. I know when I first, moved to New York, it was a rowdy crowd over here too. So it was okay to do that. And then you go and travel to these major tournaments and you act the same. And it does, catch people off guard and stuff like that. But back then, it didn't seem to be as frowned upon. I mean, I've had my moments where I was heckling for my friend playing and they won, and then afterwards they gave me a little bit of their winnings, like thanks for the assistance, because they knew like I was helping them out with my heckling. And even down to when like I knew my two friends were gonna play in a money match, and then the opponent was like, "No, Persia can't be there. I'm not gonna play the money
Oh
match."
my god.
So, eventually I started noticing people really just like you can see the shift in the environment, right? Like when I first became part of the FGC, everyone was heckling and it was funny and everyone would have a good time and like they would get it and it would drive people, people would have fun and everything. Then it started shifting, as the years go by and more new people are coming into the scene. They're not used to that type of thing because, they weren't really around it or exposed to it a lot, or some people are only going to major events and they don't have like a scene that they can get familiar with and stuff like that. So then you start noticing people like getting really like salty or getting really annoyed or like
Oh yeah.
just visibly upset. And I didn't, even though I was having fun, I was like, I can see they're not having fun, and that kind of kills the fun for me. So I try not to do that. And even sometimes, I would get hype from my friends, and I would even throw my friend off for being so hype. And I'm like,
They're
well, I
like,
don't want to do
Persia,
that
calm
either.
down.
Yeah, they're
Calm
like
your
they're
ass
like, "It's
down.
okay, it's okay." And I'm like, "All right, I was just trying." But then, I have to make sure not only for the opponent, but for my friends too, like they're cool with it too. So that's why I eased up on it over the years. And it's just funny. It's just funny because I see that now when there are a few hecklers, right? Like Cool Kid's wife, and now,
Oh my
Minna,
gosh,
Kava.
she cracks me up. She was
Yeah.
awesome at the battlegrounds.
Oh yeah.
She was great.
I think it's so cute and so funny. And that kind of support, right? Props to the wives out there. So it's pretty cool though to see like a few people still hold on to that hype and still go out there and heckle, because you're walking in dangerous waters nowadays if you're willing to take that on. I mean, oh, I don't know if I should even talk about this on the stream, but even like CJ Truth and his mom, they were tight at Kaba also for being all crazy.
Oh boy.
And yeah, that was interesting too. But like, yeah, it rubs people the wrong way,
Yeah,
and
that whole thing
especially
turned into
when,
a mess too. It
yeah,
was just a mess on Twitter, right?
yeah. But I've been around some pretty rowdy crowds and had a really good time while being there. So, like I said, for me, I don't know. It doesn't bother me personally. I have fun doing it, but if I can visibly see around me that is causing issues, I'll let up. There's a time and a place for everything. Just because I'm not doing it at this one event doesn't mean I'm not doing it at, my next local tournament, with my homies and with my crew and all this other stuff. But yeah. Oh, you
Oh
know
yeah.
what else is a good example though with Kaba, right? He was hype like that and everything for Minna during Capcom Cup, but you saw how far he was,
Yeah, that was
and
like
it
the
was
appropriate
okay.
distance,
Yeah,
right?
and it was okay. Like no one was really like giving him bad blood for that. So it's a double-edged sword at that point, right?
Oh yeah.
Everyone loved it when he did it at Capcom Cup. And for him, it's just another day in the office. He does this every day. He supports his boys and he gets hyped. That's it,
Yeah.
right? But for everybody else, they made it okay at Capcom Cup. Now he's going through, he's still doing it. Now at this event, people are getting offended. Now it's bad. And then he's like, well, what? Like, it's okay, So I can see, like, from his end, he's just doing what he does. And he didn't catch any flack for it before. But now he is catching flack for it. So now he just has to like figure out the middle ground there. Like keep your
Yeah.
distance, whatever. Read the situation, In that video they showed with Goichi and him, it didn't look like there was that many people around. So it probably wasn't even loud in general before he
Oh yeah.
started heckling. I don't know, it's interesting.
So we're gonna move on to tweet 3. But before we do, just everyone watch out for Persia the heckler coming to your local or major very
Yeah,
soon.
it's Dark Persia you have to worry about actually.
All right, we got this tweet cracked me the hell up. I hope you have the image up. It's a guy saying, "Why are there two Chris G's at NCR?" And look, and the guy right behind him looks just
That
like
is
him.
hilarious.
This one I just had to throw in because it's just too good.
That is hilarious. Oh
he
my
ha-
goodness.
he has somebody walking around with the same Chris. Somebody said Chris Gception. I'm done. Like
That's a
you.
good one. That guy
Anyways,
even knows it too. You can tell. He's like, yeah, I'm doing
he's like, yo, what's up? Like, this is my 5 seconds of fame here.
Soulstone
Oh
activate.
my god. All right,
Okay.
so we're gonna get into the last one here. I tend to frequent Yohosi because she's just
Mhm.
hilarious and she's an amazing woman. But she posted a meme of Bardock saying wanting sub mode off so you and 50,000 other strangers can spam toxicity and feed off each other's negative energy. And then the other one's like supporting sub mode with your dollars so both you and the streamer can mutually benefit from the bond formed from playing and enjoying fighting games. And I just thought that was great because I think that was what happened. I want to say it was NCR.
NCR, yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was NCR.
they Spooky put the sub mode only on
Mhm.
and and we had that going. But yeah, like it's great when it's like not on because obviously anyone can, but support the streams. I say that as
Right.
like I need to myself subscribe to a lot of our people that keep these things alive, but mostly everyone gets the Twitch Prime too. So like you can give that one once a month to your local streamer.
Yeah, I mean, it boils down to the fact that people want to be toxic until it costs money. Then they're like, whatever. I'm not gonna
they're,
pay, so okay.
they're like, I'm cheap. I'm done. So we're gonna go to the next little bit here since we're done with this. And this is where wrong one. Ah, there we go. Where you get to have Super Saiyan hair.
Oh
And
snap.
yeah,
That work.
I got you that
Oh,
fresh lineup if you stay where you are.
all right. I'll stay right here.
Um and just give us like since we're cutting it, we're getting there like time wise, but I like everyone during this segment to give a little bit of helpful advice in like under 2 minutes for
Oh my
something
goodness.
they believe will help people level up. So since
All
we're
right.
in the
Level
hype,
up their
yep.
game or like their life.
Well, okay, not their life. Like it's gonna be related to you since you're the guest. So
Oh, gotcha.
you're a commentator, but you also have like a vast knowledge of the games you play, etc. So whatever real quick you think would be most important that you think would be a good lesson for somebody watching.
All right. For anybody watching right now, it's time to level up. For real though. All right. Let's take a second and
I love it.
evaluate ourselves. So, first things first, when it comes to these games, don't stop having fun. The second you stop having fun is the second it's no longer enjoyable, not only for you, but for everyone else around you. So that's just number one right there. We're going to level two now. So
She's going
that's
Super Saiyan
already a
level
level up.
2.
Yeah, we're up on the next one now. Second thing, don't fall into the pattern as everyone else. Have a little bit of bravery, get a little bit of courage, go out there, explore. All right. When they designed these games, they did not design them so only 3 or 4 characters can be used. They designed it because they want everybody to be used. So put on your thinking caps, get ready, and just hit the lab, find out some cheap shit, and bring it to the table next time. All right, we're going to the next level. All right, and I think this is the most
Super Saiyan 3
important one.
Persia.
Yeah, this is the most important one right here. Support your locals, people. Build your scenes. Play, travel together, and that's all you need to succeed. All right, get your crew, squad up. And yeah, I feel like I'm still trying to live by those 3 things all the time when it comes to these games. Like when I'm playing, make sure I'm having fun. When I'm learning, I'm making sure I'm being true to myself because that's how you really have fun. You don't really have fun just picking up what everyone else is picking up because it's going to help you win. You might for a little bit, but you're going to get bored. And that's not what you want either. And then just, traveling, supporting those locals and, you know, actually being a community. What'd you know? We're in that thing,
Whoa.
right? So get it done, guys. Get it
Alright. So that was awesome. Thank you for that. I think you might have just put the most energy into the hyperbolic time chamber
done.
that anyone who's been on the show so far has done.
Oh,
So,
nice.
and that was a quick one, but it was like a blast. Like you just had everyone donate like into your spirit bomb and you just let that bomb
Oh,
off.
yeah.
Yeah.
Boom.
Boom. Okay, so one last thing before we go. We always have people do impersonations.
Oh, boy.
So,
I'm ready.
one that I thought might be a good one for you is Frieza. When Frieza says, "Fool, this isn't even my final form." I think that might be close to the exact quote. Don't quote me on the quote, but you
Okay,
could
so
even
it's
say,
fool. This isn't even my final form.
yes, but
Okay.
Frieza is very pretentious and cocky, sassy. So you gotta try and throw the
Okay.
attitude in with it.
I think I got this. Ooh, I got to get it on the first go. All right. All right.
You can I'll let you go. I can give you another attempt,
No, it's
okay?
got to be organic. I got to just Do it in one shot. All right. It's about to be the best impersonation ever. You think it, you believe it, right? All right.
Yes.
Here we go. Was it fool? This isn't even my final form.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. All right, ready? Gotta take the veil. You fool! This isn't even my final form!
I love it. Oh my god, everyone should be clapping right now from their computer screen because that was great. That was a lot of energy and made me really happy. This is why I
Yay!
personally get a lot of enjoyment out of doing this. Um, just because people like so far have like had no problem just, going wild. And the best part too was right before you did that quote, people were in the chat were saying that you just hit your ultimate form when you were giving the advice. So, Persia is now in her final form now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You fools.
So that was great. Um, yeah, so everyone, thanks for stopping by. Is there any last words you'd like to go over, Persia? We kind of had like I think this was a pretty good podcast, actually.
Yeah,
We
this was
bounced
awesome.
off
I
each
had an
other a
amazing
lot.
time.
Yeah. And you just got back
um
from NLBC tonight, right? Like you went.
Oh, no, no, no. I definitely made sure
Oh,
I
okay.
cleared my night for this
Oh,
podcast because
well, thank
I
you.
wanted to make sure. I know we were bouncing around, but I was like, nope, this is my last day in town. I'm going to pack some around. But I was like, I'm making sure today is set aside for this podcast.
Appreciate
And
it.
I'm glad I had so much fun. So thank you for having me.
You're going to PAX
Um,
East, right?
Yes, I'm going to PAX East this weekend. Saturday, I'm participating in a panel about the FGC,
Ooh.
moderated by Zerk. So, you guys, if you're there, you should check it out. I'll tweet more details about it as it gets closer to that time. Um, I'm also going to Clutch 2018. That is
There
2
you go.
weeks from this weekend, and that's going to be really exciting. Also going to have Dragon Ball FighterZ there, Marvel 2, 3, and Infinite. Ton of games. Going to be awesome. And then after that, I will be attending another event, which will be announced soon. So,
There you
yeah, just
go.
stay tuned. Lots going on, and I love you guys. Thanks for chilling with us.
Yeah, thanks, guys, and thank you, Persia. All right, see you guys.
Bye.
Bye.